Let's do this. Guys, I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. When I went to, I had to go to. Oh, I didn't have to go to church. I went to church because, you know, thought I could meet a few people. I was having like a revelation of reverence. And while I went there, funny as it may be, there was really no help there. They kicked me out of the church and told me very nicely, never to come back there. Do not come back there. And I was like, fair enough. I will not come back there. And the reason, I have no clue. I still, to this day, I see these people at church. I see the lady who kicked me out at church. I can't remember her name. Oh, I do remember her name. Go figure. Her name was Tina, and she had a nosebleed. She kicked me off the. Whatever. She told me that I couldn't come. Anyways, so long story short, I couldn't come back to church. And there was no reason. You want to hear the reason why? I think the reason there, because there was no real reason, guys. When I came there on Wednesday, you're not going to believe this. On Wednesday, I used to come there for Bible study. There was no Bible study. There was no Bible study. I walked right in that place, walked around the whole place. You know what it looked like? Looked like a bunch of looked like fucking never-ending, it looked like seriously, it looked like a bunch of fucking foster kids or kids that were like living in there. It was like, what the fuck is this? It's like a daycare for like what is it, like the children of the corn. It was so creepy. So I said, okay. So then when I came there on Sunday, I walked in there, I was like, no, this is not. There was a security guard that says, can you tell the lady? I was like, all right, see you, bye. I'm leaving now, bye. And I was like, thanks. And they're like, oh, is this because Wednesday? I was like, where the fuck were you? I was like, I came there for Wednesday Bible study. And I was so into it. And this is how fucked up it was. I didn't have a car or anything. And I walk right down to church, wearing my stupid little fucking mafia suit. And I walk right in there. I walk in my reveling thing. And no, I didn't want to be a fucking reverend. But guess what? I want to live. So you want to hear a crazy Italian mafia story? This is totally true. Okay. So you got to do some real fast research when you're doing this, and the mafia is coming after you, or the union, or the enemy of the state, or whoever the fuck it was. Because guys, this has happened numerous amounts of time, not just one. It'd be great if it happened just one sporadic time, but god damn it, this happens so many times. And what they do is to take away your credibility or any kind of recognition or any kind of sane credibility. They put you in a rehab for like 28 days, I swear to God. And after you get out of your 28-day rehab stint, you know what they say? All right, here you go. Here's your medication. We don't know how long you should be taking this. Everything's good to go. I'm like, yeah, everything's perfect. And so it's really not. And so, it's really not. Like, nothing is perfect about the whole situation. Yeah. So like, as soon as they kick you out, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is so crazy too. So I've literally could work as a volunteer in the mental health department. This is what they do, okay? So they first have to do like an intake. Oh, this one's even better. I'll even get to another one. Let me write this down. I forget what it was called, like Hope Haven or something, or fucking, it was in South Carolina. So I'm gonna tell you a story. So first they have to do an intake and like basically find out if you're like actually telling the truth. So that takes like an hour. So like what I would do is, guys, I got desperate. I got desperate as fuck. I was sleeping on a park bench. I'll never forget this story. So there's like a park bench like by like, you know, wherever. It's like down near downtown. I was literally sleeping on a fucking park bench. And then I would sleep in like whatever, like little fucking, like whatever they were, like little, like French, whatever they call, like the quarters were, like I'd sleep right down by like in Amelie's and shit, and they shut that down, and I would. Sometimes I had nowhere to go. So guys, one time I was so desperate, I slept literally, like if you walk down this road and you bust like a left down one road and you just walk down towards the railroad, I was like sitting at 5 o'clock in the morning hoping no police officer or any kind of official would see me. And I did. I like literally, it was like raining. The fucking ground was disgustingly wet, and I fucking put a cardboard down, slept down there for about 20 seconds, and I was like, I can't do this. And I was like dead tired. And then another time, oh, this was fucking wild. I don't even remember what happened. So like I was in Eugene, Oregon, and I was like hanging out with these kids. These kids were literally like fucking taking like ketamine right out in the middle of the street and shit. They didn't give a fuck. I was like, guys, what the fuck are you doing? They didn't give a shit. You didn't even know what they were doing. I was like, I didn't even know what they were doing. So they're out there like doing ketamine and fucking selling like magic cards and just fucking bracelets and shit. And then I'm like, oh man, let's go back to my hotel and like let's go hang out and shit. They're like, no, we have a spot out in the middle of the cornfield. We can just hang out and just sleep. And I was like, what? I was like, fuck that shit, guys. I'm getting back in my fucking Lexus or my hotel. And no, he's like, you know what, guys? I'll hang out with you guys. Where you guys all hanging out and shit? Just show me. So fucking weird, guys. I was like, please don't rain. So while we were walking back eating pizza, they made enough money to like buy themselves food. I had nothing. I literally had nothing. Anyways, this is crazy. And so this is crazy. Like literally when I left this place, I got like thrown in jail. So while I'm like eating pizza, watching these fucking little like all these young people do fucking ketamine shit and weird ass shit, I'm like, oh my god. And so I wasn't doing any of this shit. I was like, fuck this shit. No, hell no. I'm fucking spending money to get gas to fucking get back fucking home. Anyways, I didn't. As soon as I left this, it was weird. I had some bad incident happen. My dad's like, what are you doing? I was like, I guess I'm fucking driving back from fucking Oregon. It's like a nice, solid, goddamn fucking, like, what? Like fucking 5-day truck? My dad's like, yeah. He's like, you're going to be back here in like a week or a month or so? I'm like, yeah, here I'm gonna go back. So anyways, so while I was leaving, I was going up to Springfield, because I think that's where I was staying. Anyways, so weirdly enough, as I was going to Springfield, someone saw me recklessly driving too fast and I got pulled over. This is hilarious. The guy would have just given me a warning and everything, said, I know you're on your way. We don't have anything on footage because, we have to bring that to the police officers with footage of you being reckless and shit. I was like, okay, well, listen. I'm super sorry. I had a bad day. I've been out with a bunch of fucking Peter Pan kids, and they were doing a bunch of shit I was not interested in. And now I'm driving back to North Carolina. What's going on? He's like, blah, 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 da, da, da. We're pulled over on the side of the sketchiest road. I'm looking over the cliff saying, listen, can we just pull over? So anyway, so while he's giving me the not even giving me the ticket, everything, giving me a warning, everything, I said, he goes, oh, where do you want me to send this to? I said, you could send it to you could send it to the mansion. And then he goes, goes, get out of your car, you're under arrest. Here's your ticket. I was like, what the fuck? And he arrested me, pounded my fucking car, threw me right in jail, did all these weird tests and shit on me. And I was like, dude, this is fucked up. And I did. I went right to fucking jail, and it was because I said, send it. And my parents, you'll never believe this one, left me out. Yeah. Soon as I got out, I thought I was going to die. They let me go out. It was so fucking cold. It had to be like 40 degrees outside. And they were like, oh, what do you have? Nothing. And this is crazy. So I was like, I have nothing. I'm going to freeze out there. They're like, well, you shouldn't have recklessly drive and told you to send it to the mansion. I said, bro, I was like, I didn't mean to say send it to the mansion. I meant like metaphorically send it to my lake house. I said, why? He's like, now you want, and it's so crazy. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And as I'm walking down this fucking cold ass, dead ass street, go figure, I don't even know how I managed to do this, but there was a bridge. And I went under the bridge, and there was a blanket and shit. And there was a guy under there. He's like, I'm like, bro, I think I'm gonna die. If I don't have that blanket, I think like I said, I'm gonna fucking freeze out here, or I'm gonna be very struggling. And he goes, here's your blanket, and I got you a coffee. I'm like, where the fuck did you? And so weirder story. This one. So I was hiding at like a park, like just chilling at a park, and I swear, if I had pictures, it was like an underground, like someone drew a bunch of like trees and spray painted this whole underneath area. It was crazy. And then as they spray painted and did all this stuff, I drove my truck under there and was like taking pictures and shit. And then randomly enough, this like stripper came down there because it was a guy, there's a pimp and a Jaguar. I was like, I drive a Jaguar, I'm a pimp. And so this one girl just sits next to me. We smoked a little bit of weed, and she's like, okay, thanks, and hugged me, and she left. I was like, what the fuck was that? And so, like, nobody knew that was my spot hanging down there. And then why was I doing that? I had no clue. I had no fucking money. I was, like, broke. I was, like, driving around playing music and shit like a clown. And I'll never do that shit again. That shit was fucking, I'll never do that again in my life. Never. Never will I play music like that like a clown. I'll never go around people like that. No. It's fucking dangerous and shit. Guys, you want to hear a crazy story? One time I was in Colorado. It was like Christmas time. And I was playing for these people. This one guy like backed in my fucking van. Just kept hitting my van. Like just said, oh, sorry. It's crazy stories. Just crazy stories. Okay, so anyways. My mom doesn't like talking about this story. So one time we went to this rehab in South Carolina. I don't even know why we're going. My mom was just like fed up. This is crazy. I was so scared. My mom wasn't scared. She was like casually leaving this place. I felt like Bonnie and Clyde. So she goes there. I told her, hey, listen, they said, Mrs. Marr, you need to come in here and talk to you about a few things. And just come on in here. My mom comes in there and she's like, so what's going on, Dr. Lee, or Dr. whatever your name is, Dr. Mrs. Lee? And she goes, well, your son seems like he's intermingling, having a great time here. Doesn't look like he's going to any classes. Doesn't look like he gives a fuck about this. And he thought there were horses here and that, there's a bunch of horses and like, art classes and all. And there wasn't. No, there wasn't. You go there and it was just fucking, it wasn't anything like that. And so my mom gets there, and she gets there, and she said, do you know, Mrs. Marr, for having your son come in here, he didn't test for any kind of drugs or anything. He just, what'd you say? He said he wanted to hurt himself, and I was like, yeah. I said I wanted to hurt myself by having, like, too much masturbation time with my fucking hand. Anyways, so the lady goes, listen, I'm going to give you one option. You guys are going to leave here now. I'm going to call the cops. And I'm like, listen, let's leave. You can leave all my shit here. I got to leave. And so she said, my mom said, that's fine. No biggie. And she like casually just grabbed nothing and left. And I was like, Mom, never again. And guys, this was like I'm honest to God, this was like the fifth or sixth. This had to be like +5. This had to be like +5. Not to mention all like the outpatient and shit that I've done. Must be like +5. So like guys, when I look at like like the medical bills and shit like that, they have to have like a full pronounced name and like an address and shit. They have to have that. I mean, one time the like I can tell you this, two more stories. 2 times the ambulance tried to pick me up unwillingly. I didn't want to go. They were like unwillingly. I'm like, you're going to ask me 2 questions. One, what's the date today? I'm like, I have no clue. And the other one, what's my name? I can tell you like the real name they gave. I can tell you a couple names. I can tell you one name they gave me here, but here. And so they're like, okay, we're bringing you in now. And I swear to God, one time they say, tell us what you know. And they literally just gave me a shot. I thought I was dead. And they're like, as soon as I wake up, I swear to God, I was like X-Men. I was like, where the fuck are we? She's like, all right, well, no biggie. You're going to be going down to this rehab for 90 days. And we're going to just literally just like watch you. I'm like, why? What are we going to do? It's going to be like Cuckoo, this is going to be like the one with Jack Nicholson who flew over the cuckoo necks and the orange meets the new fucking gray. And it was crazy. I could probably sit there and tell you like 100 crazy stories. As soon as you get in there, you're all wearing like orange, you're either wearing a blue suit, like a blue like gown suit, or it's usually like you can wear your own clothes once you like graduate past the 2 weeks. It sucks. So while you're sitting there, and nobody, so when you go in there, it's like nothing but a bunch of people that have gone through trauma. And I'm not going to say that they had this or that, because I wasn't a doctor. And the doctor would come in there, like, I'm not even joking, you guys, like once a week, and would have to see like 100 fucking patients. Had to be like 100 people in there. And so like the lawyer that I had, he would come in there and he'd be like, every time I lose a patient, I'm losing $1,000 a day. And I'm like, well, sorry. Oh, sorry, you ex-fucking muscle junkie. He was. He was a total juicer. He was like probably into doing like a shitload of cocaine, but he stopped and he was a lawyer, and this guy was like fucking jacked. One time he was like losing his mind. This guy was probably making like, I'm telling you, like fucking like $100,000 a day doing this with taxes and shit and everything. It was expensive. He had like a nice facility. One day he walked in there and he just like took a game and all the games and fucking like took them off the thing and just bashed them off. And he said, I don't even remember why he got pissed off. I guess because he wasn't making $100,000 a day. I guess one dropped out of the fucking one of the insurance nest, and all these people were paying like hella insurance. So many people had like a fucking 80-20 like differential copay. I didn't even know this. Mine was like a 50-50, but god dang, when you go to some cheap ass fucking rehab. I mean, guys, I went to like a 25,000-30,000 college one, and I also went to, like I said, like a one that cost probably like $400 a day. It was shitty. So, you know, there's two different levels of okay, I gotta stop this. There's two